car dealerships like this one right here are about to get tossed out of business. So, why do I say that? Well, check out on the website. These car dealers still have 2023s for sale, and it's absolutely crazy what they're thinking they can get for any of these cars. And why did I do this video today? Well, I seen that all these people need to come up with new ways how to lure customers in. So what is this car dealer doing to get people in? Well, he got a fresh market going on. So he thinks that getting people in a fresh market is going to sell him cars like this. And when you're looking at it, and you're looking at all these cars that are sitting on the lot, and they're still 2023s for sale. 2025s are coming out, and they still can't get rid of them. And when you look on the price online, there's still so many cars that are actually for sale and that they just can't get rid of. And so now I'm telling you, where is this all gonna go? Because it's just brutal. All these cars here are still for sale and nobody's buying. The dealership floor, empty. Why? Why is the dealership floor empty? Because it's just not feasible. All these people that are trying to get their cars sold, and you can see they're discounting them like crazy. All these dealerships, I tell you one thing, all these dealerships took their profit during COVID for years to come. Now they got to discount them. This is the wrong mentality from the car manufacturer. That's why you're seeing Stellantis is thinking about shutting down the plant. And guess why? Why did they do that? They screwed you over if you bought a Jeep during COVID. Negative equity, here we go. And you know what? It's us to blame as consumers, but the manufacturer should have stepped in and said, if Stellantis, if I was on the board, if I'd had something to say, this is what I would have said. If you guys are going to charge over asking price, call this phone number, call the office that I've put in place, and we're going to go after them. And if one of these dealers would have played funny games and did that and said, oh, we're going to sell it used and charge people over asking price, you know what you did? You think that anybody that got screwed on a deal is going to go back to that dealership or to that brand? Probably not. They're just going to go to another manufacturer, to another dealership to see it. So now I said, do like what Arizona Ice-T did. Arizona Ice-T back in the day had a phone number on each store in 7-Eleven that said if they charge more than 99 cents per bottle, call this number because we're going to go after them. That's what I would have done. I said, no, we're here for the customers and we're not going to allow you to do any of that. So call this number and send us the paperwork and we're going to assign you a customer representative and we'll come after it. Yeah, I know this would have been work, but guess what? People would have came back, people would have appreciated, and it would have saved the brand. Now they're going to lose jobs because they're thinking about shutting down plants. And the funny part is the union's now crying too, saying, this is not what we'd agreed on. Well, it's a sinking ship, sorry. It's a sinking ship, bad leadership, and it's done. People cannot afford these cars. I don't know what they were thinking during COVID. There was free money, everybody got stuff, and then they took the profit up front. That is like saying, hey, I'm gonna clean all these windows for $5,000. All these car windows for $5,000. And then all of a sudden you're like, hold on, $5,000 is not enough. I can't do it. I started the job, but I can't do it. So you just walk off. And when you charge people $60,000, $70,000 at the beginning, you're like, I can make the $700, $800 payment. And then you're in the middle of it being like, hold on, I got severely screwed. So now what do? You just let it go. You just voluntary repossession. Give it back because you just can't do it. So it is absolutely detrimental what they did to all these customers, to all these consumers. And now they're hoping with these stickers here that they could say, oh, we'll give you $20,000 in discounts. We're going to do all that for you. Well, it's kind of late, right? There's always that fourth ending when it's almost done, when there's almost another touchdown to say, we should have played the game differently. Yeah, you should have. You should have watched what your customers were doing, and you should have heard to the complaints. But no, you're like, oh, we're not going to do nothing. They're independently owned. We can't do nothing. Then hit them with the allocation. Hit them with, hey, we can't send you cars because you're screwing them over. You're ruining my brand. So people at these dealerships, and this is what I tell everybody, when you have bad customer service or bad salespeople, those salespeople can move on. They're not going to associate, oh, it's John Doe at that store that I hate. they're going to say that dealership screwed me over. And that happened to me at the dealership down the road where I was trying to get a car. And this guy, Mike, Magic Mike or something he called himself, was an absolute asshole. And now I just don't go there because of that guy. And it is their responsibilities. It is the sales rep responsibilities, the sales manager, to reel his people in. And if you can't do that, you need to get out of the business you're in and go work at Walmart and be a district manager or something. Because I know it's tough being in sales, but you gotta treat your customers right. And if you're not gonna treat your customers right, it's gonna be done. You're out. And during COVID, people were in the business, and you can just charge whatever you wanted because there was no inventory. Now there's so many inventories. So now you have the power of the internet, and you can shop around online. And I'm seeing, let me take my jacket off. It is so muggy today. Oh my gosh, I'm sweating like crazy. So now we're at a revolution spot where it is either gonna sink or swim. And it's gonna be very few that are gonna make it, because I've seen these car TikTokers online that have been saying, hey, we'll appraise it over the phone, we'll ship it to your house, we'll send you numbers over the phone, we'll do all of that. And then there's other dealerships that say, no, we can't do that. My sales manager, you gotta come in. This is not the time to play games like that. You, as an owner, need to say, hey, we need the customer wherever they're at. You need to have my 3 principles in mind: customer service, great location, and a product, right? A good product. And the good product is somewhat price dependent, right? If you cannot meet the customer where they want to be met, you're going to lose deals. You're going to lose sales. And I don't know, but having 14 2023s isn't what I would say that you're getting rid of your inventory. And all of a sudden, the cost is starting to add up. What I mean by that is, like, most of the times these car dealers have floor lines, right? They have lines of credit where they can buy cars, do stuff. And the longer the car sits, it has a holding cost to them, right? So if you use your line of credit, most people do, some people don't have a line of credit, where the bank says, hey, if you need $5,000, you can just use it. We'll just give it. Some of it is the same as in car dealerships. They say, oh, we'll float you. And all of a sudden, when they float you, you got to pay interest. And depending on what they said about the interest, you just got to pay up. And depending on how much the interest rate is negotiated, they're going to say, hey, we're going to pull the line, we're going to pull the cars, and you're out of business. And guess who's to blame? Not the people, not the car manufacturer. It is your mismanagement. If you can't get rid of them, you need to discount them. You need to discount them a lot. You need to make sure that the inventory sells. If you can't sell it, then you need to hire the right people and say, hey, maybe I need to do something different. Maybe I need to find somebody that can go out and actually attract people to the store and do stuff innovative like a farmer's market, but it's not the right thing to do. I don't think having a farmer's market is gonna result into sales. What does is doing the right marketing, doing the right techniques, and having a good price offer, and have a good experience when you go there. So if you call them up and you're in Cape Coral and you call them up and say, can you give me prices over the phone? What is that gonna cost me? They need to say, let me get your phone number. Let me get right back to you. I'll get you those numbers. Let me get an email address so I can send you over our best price. Boom. Hang up the phone, get the email address, say, hey, somebody called, let's do it. And sometimes they say, oh, we're gonna shop around and do whatever. So what? That's what's called follow-up. Everything about sales that I know is in a follow-up game. You gotta follow up with your customer. Hey, did you make an informed decision yet? Hey, what about this? Maybe I can tweak the numbers. Let me go to my sales manager and see if we can do there. Do you want to come in? Or do I need to come to you to do a test drive? But in the car business industry, it's so funny because people don't see it. People don't want to see it. And then all of a sudden, you see these dealerships just being out of money, being out of things. So you got to make sure that you keep yourself in business and not maneuver yourself out. And all these people that went into car sales in 2020, where people just walking in and you wanted to give them a car and you just charged them for airing the tires, and you charged them for a car wash that costs $1,000 because it's a detailing package. These days are done, my friends. These days are done. Now, you've got to be happy. When somebody comes in, you got to be there. You need to greet them, and it's now on their terms. And if you like it, good. If you don't, then they're going to walk out, because guess what? Two miles down the road, that dealership is going to help them. And you're just going to sit on your inventory. And how much money do you want to lose? So when you have inventory, like car dealers, you got to make sure to get rid of it. because they're going to constantly fill you new inventory. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, they're piling up. Where are we going to put them? And all of a sudden you got to put them in the Walmart parking lot because people just don't want to buy them. And now it's like, oh, it's a bad product. No, it's not. It's a pretty decent product. It's just that the price isn't right. You screwed over the people and you need to get them back in there. So you got to make sure that your salespeople do a good enough job. And that's why you have sales training, and you kind of get them in there and make sure that they do not ruin your brand on your behalf. Because I feel like in salespeople in the car business, they're kind of fast rotating, and you got to vet them. You got to vet them. You got to make sure that they're good people. And then people say, oh, you know, I can just go to CarMax. Why do you think CarMax is so popular? It's not because they got the best price. No, people just don't want to deal with the hassle. People don't want to deal with all the nonsense, all these fees, all these other things that they're gonna charge you at the car dealership, the back and forth. Oh, I'm gonna give you your best price. Oh, we're gonna do all that. No, that is not what people want. People want it smooth, simple, and on their terms. And so if you can say, hey, we'll bring the car to you, we'll do it all, we can test drive, we'll come pick you up for a test drive, we'll do all that. And all of a sudden, you're gonna be like, huh, that might be worth my while. And now, especially in the price point of $60,000+ cars. If you're selling $5,000, $10,000 cars, don't worry about being that much customer friendly. There's only a certain amount of people that can buy that, right? Everybody can probably buy a $1,000 to $5,000 car, $3,000 cars, and people will come to you because they have a limited budget. But in the $60,000 range budget, $70,000, $80,000 budget, these people have jobs. These people are busy. These people do not want to waste their time. It costs them more to sit at your dealership for 3 hours than it is when they can be at their office for 1 or 2 hours to save $1,000. They can make better use of their time actually staying at their job and making $1,000 in those 3 to 4 hours and sitting at the car dealership waiting till you got to your sales manager got it approved. No, send them the paperwork home. Say, hey, we'll do DocuSign. You know how to do the email? Bam, bam, bam. Done. Send it out. Good. Do it. Ask him, hey, do you have American Express? I see these people online now saying, hey, do you have an LLC? We give you these discounts with Mercedes. And this is what these car dealerships are going to make it or break it. It's these content creators that are going to say, hey, let's go there and see how it's going to go. And then all of a sudden, if you're going to have the right customer service, the right marketing, and the right product, you're going to be successful. But if you're going to have all these sour salespeople sitting outside waiting to attack you like vultures when you're going to come out, it's going to be dying, I'm telling you. Because people don't want to be hassled. How many times do you like to be hassled when you're at the clothing store, and first thing that somebody comes in, they attack you, be like, can I help you? Can I help you? Can I help you? People are like, hey, just give me a break. Just calm down for a minute. Let me just get settled in and then go there. But everybody's like, I need to get that name. Let me write down the name. Let me go talk to him first so I can get the lead. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is what's going to ruin it down the line for you. And it's like, man, they hassle you. So absolutely brutal, absolutely brutal. So it is sink or swim for all these car dealerships. So let me know, would you buy a car the new way where you just do it from home and you call them up and they'll bring it, test drive it and do all that? Or do you still like the old way where you go in, you haggle for $500, $600 for 3 hours and you wait there till the paperwork is done and it's a whole day thing? Is that something you want to do? I don't. I tell them, hey, I'm okay with the price. Let me leave and yeah, send me the paperwork home. I don't need to pick it up today. I'll pick it up whenever. But guess what? I'm not going to wait for 3 hours. No, I can work on my business, work on content, do other things. And by the time I'm done with all that, I probably made up for the difference than it is to actually wait there and negotiate another $50, $60. So absolutely sad to see how it's going to be done. And yeah, it's just how we do it. That's why Carvana and all these other car manufacturers or other these car platforms are so lucrative, and people buy them because they fill out the paperwork. And that's why I bought my car from Vroom. My Mustang I bought from Vroom, and my other one, because it's so easy. You type in your information, they'll call you up about a delivery date. Everything went smooth. 7 days later, they call you, say, hey, do you like the car? Do you want us to come pick it up again? No, there's an issue with the key. I had that with the admin access. That's it. So now there's competition, right? So do you want to go there and get hassled? Or do you want to go shop online on Carvana and just have it done to your house? And my housekeeper actually said, hey, I bought it from Carvana and it was a really, really nice experience. I value my time. And everybody's busy now. Everybody is hella busy. Everybody now has lives that they want to do. They want to spend time with their family, especially now when they have to go back to work. During COVID, they had some spare time because they said, I'd rather run some errands and I'm out for half a day. And they still got paid. Now, they do not want to hang out at the dealership. Who's going to go there just to test drive? Who's going to go to a car dealer just because I don't know what to do, so let me just go to the Nissan dealer across the road to spend some time there and harass some salespeople? Nobody's going to do that. If you're at a car dealership, you're going to test drive, you want some information, you want to buy a car, or you're at least looking to buy one and you haven't made an informed decision yet. But people need to be 100% sure that, hey, this is what I want to do. And it is absolutely crazy when I see this craziness when they're waiting, 6, 7, 8 people wait outside and them trying to get you to buy something right that day. It's like, no, I have options now. And especially when you're in the $60,000+ bracket. When you're gonna test drive a $3,000 car, you don't really have that many options of a good car. If it's reliable, ring it up. But if you're in the $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 bracket, there's so many good cars now that you can pick from. And so you gotta understand that, hey, with a $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 customer, I need to treat him differently than it is with a $3,000 customer, right? There's different interests, there's just different nuances that value these type of clients. And when you offer a product at that price point, you need to meet them where they at and not just say, hey, we're just gonna keep running it the old way, and the old way isn't gonna work out. I'm telling you, it's not gonna work out. So let me know what you think, but I think we're gonna see a revolution. And now one thing that I'm super, super interested in is Polestar, Chinese manufacturer, starting to manufacture cars in the United States. So it can be done. Polestar's doing it, and now all of Polestar 3s is gonna be manufactured in the United States. I'm super excited because I love my Polestar number 2. The build quality is phenomenal. Had a Tesla before, but now Polestar is going to do the third one in the United States. So I'm already thinking, hey, if those are gonna come out and those drop a little bit in price, I'm definitely gonna get one because they're so nice. I like my Model 2. I love it. The reliability, the build quality, so good. So we're gonna see. So it can be done. And now, if Donald Trump's gonna be in office, wouldn't surprise me if BYD is gonna say, China's gonna say, let us build these electric cars in the United States. And all of a sudden, Trump's gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna get these cars built in the United States. That's gonna be all right. And all of a sudden, all these Stellantis car dealerships are gonna get a run for their money. And guess what? They don't have a history of bad customer service yet because you don't know it. So they have an opportunity to offer excellent service. And so does Polestar. So all these new brands that are entering the market are gonna have a new opportunity to gain customer service, to gain a good experience, to get helped out on a bunch of these issues that these big conglomerates are not going to do it. Because most of these people, when you look at the car deal, they're like, oh, they sold me a car and now we're done. They can't remember your name. They're not going to do anything for you after you left the dealership. And if you have a lemon car, they're not going to help you. They're done. But guess what? BYD, Polestar, we'll see how they're going to do. Wouldn't surprise me if they're going to have excellent customer service because they're going to want to get market shares. So if you work for Stellantis or Ram or Ford, buckle up your belt because even the Ford CEO is driving a BYD as a daily and he loves it. So now, buckle up because it's going to be an interesting ride. And let me know what you think. But yeah, it is going to be an interesting ride because Polestar 3 is coming. Maybe BYD is going to come to the United States with a manufacturing plant, just take over the Stellantis one. We'll see. Might happen. Wouldn't surprise me. And then we're going to see what's going to happen. It's going to be really, really interesting. So let me know what you guys think about this. And if you haven't liked and subscribed, if you're job searching, shoot me a message on LinkedIn. It's in the About section of my profile. And I'll see you in the next one.